If those contingencies are waived, the buyer is truly putting that $45,000 on the line. When you're purchasing a home and you start the contract process, once the offer is accepted, there is a deposit. It's called an earnest money deposit. It's also referred to as an EMD, or just simply a deposit sometimes. That earnest money deposit, or EMD, is typically 3%. At least, don't typically go over that, and it's very rare that you go under that. And I'm speaking specifically to the Silicon Valley right now, and for the most part, the greater Bay Area. And when you have that 3% earnest money deposit, you also have contingencies in place that allow you to keep that earnest money deposit safe. Now, if it's a $1.5 million home, which is pretty average in the Bay Area and almost a starter home at this point, then you're talking about $45,000. And $45,000 is not something to sneeze at. Even $1,000, if you lose it, you're like, oh, that stings. But $45,000 is a bit of an extra kick. When we're talking about this, the earnest money deposit of $45,000 on a $1.5 million purchase, and that's the agreed to price. So if it's 1.6, then that earnest money deposit would go up, whatever the agreed to price is per the contract, the four walls of the contract. Thinking about relocating to the Silicon Valley? Well, I've got just the thing for you. My team and I have actually taken the time to create the ultimate relocation guide, which is meant to save you hours of research. And I've linked it down below. From top employers to best hospitals, and a boatload of other things that you need to know before making the move. The best part is that this guide is 100% free. That's right, you heard me right, 100% free. Just click the link in the description or the top pinned comment. Hope that helps. Hope you're having a wonderful day. So you have an appraisal contingency, you have an inspection contingency, and you have a loan contingency. Those are the three main contingencies, and sometimes, very rare, you have a contingency where you have to sell before you purchase. In the Bay Area, whether the market is hot or not, many times we're conditioned to go into the offer with zero contingencies. So as the buyer is walking into it, they are waiving their contingencies. Now, the inspection contingency is the big one that comes up that people ask this question about. As the seller does the inspections up front, so the buyer has the ability to not have that contingency unless they see something that they need the contingency for. What that means is if the appraisal does not come in at value, if the inspections do not pass, and the inspections are really the individuals, typically it's going to be the buyer's perspective. It's rare that there's an actual inspection done by the lender, which is actually a different video, but the inspection and then the loan. So going into it, if the loan has any questions, if the appraisal, if the value is really high, or if there's any question about foundation, things like that, that might come up where it would otherwise damage the buyer, so to speak, if they do go through with the purchase. If those contingencies are waived, the buyer is truly putting that $45,000 on the line. Now, I'm really interested to know people's thoughts on this. You have the seller's thought, you have the buyer's thought. And of course, you don't want to be in a position where you have to take somebody's deposit. It's a lot of money. In this example, it's $45,000. But what happens if they lose a job? What happens if there were multiple offers and multiple people wanted this house? They got the house and now they can't perform on it. How do you feel that should go? I can tell you that once you do go into the position of removing contingencies and putting the deposit in, the next step is it would go to arbitration if the seller and the buyer do not agree. In arbitration, what I've seen when it goes to this type of level, it's either 100% they mark the box for the seller to take that deposit, and typically that's how it is, or they'll give a small amount back to the buyer for one reason or the other. But it's unfortunate, but it's very important that people understand that as you get heated and as you kind of jump into the market of buying the home, make sure that you do really pay attention to the different contingencies that are in place that are available for you. Hey guys, it's Sam Spinella. As much as I love making these videos, there's one thing I love more, and that's helping families and people from all over the US make the move here to Silicon Valley. I've helped countless families make that move. So whether you're coming out next week, next month, or next year, don't hesitate to reach out. My contact information is right here on the screen and linked in the description in case you miss it on the screen pop-up. I look forward to hearing and helping you in any possible way that I can. Hope you're doing well. when I'm representing a buyer, sometimes we can still get those contingencies in place. If not, we're just making sure we check those boxes and that everything is really dialed in. Hope you're having a great day. I hope you like this video. If you like videos like this, please like, subscribe. I'm always here and happy to help. Hope you're having a wonderful day. Talk to you soon.